morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this very special segment. Hey, today is a very special day. Marks the first day of the Hindu festival of Ram Navami. Wishing everyone all the best, and of course, it's also Ramadan begins and Ugadi and Nowruz. So there's quite a lot of things that are happening out there. All the ones in whichever way and whatever festivals you are celebrating, wishing you all the very best. Well, right now, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have for you today? We have always a snippet of the daily news, and then, of course, we go to our daily India report, and today's special segment will feature that sublime, the Bansuri recital at BEMAC. So let's get into the news with the first news, where the Parliament heats up over emissions targets.
That says everything.
With Parliament approaching crunch time on the latest plan to drive down emissions, the pressure's peaking.
If the safeguard mechanism reforms are not passed, 43% will not be met.
The changes would force Australia's 215 biggest polluters to slash their emissions by 5% a year to reach the 43% target by decade's end. Labor has pledged to reach net zero by 2050, while calls for even more ambitious targets keep coming.
It's very clear to me that Australia should be turning up to at least say we're going to do 70% reduction by 2035.
Former Energy Security Board Chair Kerry Schott urging passage of the safeguard mechanism as a first step. A policy Labor once believed might be palatable to the opposition, given it's a beefed up version of an old coalition model.
We have to start somewhere. We can't have those that want more action on climate change and those that want no action on climate change determining that nothing happens.
And with the coalition withholding support, the government needs the Greens and two crossbenchers to back it in.
People desperately want it to pass, but we want to ensure that it's actually going to reduce emissions.
Yeah, I am worried that it's going to fall over and it'll be the Greens' fault.
The government has no intention of giving the Greens any major concessions, but believes the party will have to back the legislation. Labor's calculation is that Adam Bant will not want to be seen as effectively siding with Peter Dutton to oppose greater climate ambition. Andrew Probyn, ABC News.
So there you are, that ongoing debate, and as the Greens candidate said that they would like to see the bill being passed, but end of the day, is it actually going to reduce the emissions? Are we going to meet that target? Or is it just on paper, whether it is actually going to create, and sustain the environment, what it is really meant to do? Well, that's food for thought while we go to our daily India report.
Welcome to the Daily India Report, which brings you reports, interviews, features and more on India and the Indian diaspora. Visiting Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida called India an indispensable partner as he announced a boost of $75 billion for the free and open Indo-Pacific policy. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his visiting Japanese counterpart Fumio Kishida reaffirmed their commitment to a peaceful, stable and prosperous Indo-Pacific. In a strong statement of bilateral and multilateral cooperation, the Japanese Prime Minister calling India an indispensable partner. Kishida also announced a package of $75 billion to bolster Japan's free and open Indo-Pacific policy. In his Indo-Pacific statement, Kishida referred to the Ukraine conflict 7 times as he condemned Russia's actions in Ukraine, saying Moscow's aggression had obliged the world to face the most fundamental challenge of defending peace. The Indian side was silent on the Ukraine issue, but Kishida recalled Modi's "This isn't the era of war" remark in a media statement, and Japanese authorities after the meeting said that both leaders agreed any effort to unilaterally change the status quo anywhere in the world can't be condoned. Kishida said he and Modi had agreed to uphold the international order based on the rule of law. There were talks related to Chinese assertiveness, but the Ladakh standoff didn't figure in the discussions. Modi and Kishida concurred that any unilateral action meant to disturb the status quo in both the South and East China Seas would be unacceptable. The two leaders agreed they had a shared responsibility of maintaining and strengthening the international order based on the rule of law. The Japanese Prime Minister officially invited Modi to the G7 summit in Hiroshima in May, and Modi said he was looking forward to welcoming the Japanese Prime Minister in September. In a major boost to the Modi government's Make in India initiative, Indian Railways is emerging as one of the major exporters of coaches to foreign countries, as per their requirements. Indian Railways is emerging as one of the major exporters of coaches and racks to several countries. The export of coaches is a boost to the Make in India policy emphasis of the government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Uttar Pradesh's Rai Bareli-based Modern Coach Factory (MCF) has achieved a milestone by exporting 54 loco-hauled coaches and 30 DEMU coaches, cab gauge to Mozambique. Last week, it shipped 4 loco-hauled coaches to a foreign nation. The MCF received the first export order in 2020 for the supply of 90 Cape Gauge passenger coaches, including 60 loco-hauled and 30 demo coaches, to Mozambique Railways. After that, it carried out complete design activity, FEM analysis, and multi-body dynamics simulation to initiate the process of coach production. In September 2021, the 6-member delegation from CFM Mozambique visited the MCF and appreciated the latter's efforts. The Rai Bareli-based coach factory dispatched the first rack of 12 loco-hauled cab gauge coaches to the African nation in October 2021. At present, 39 out of 60 loco-hauled coaches have been dispatched to Mozambique, and 3 racks, 34 coaches have been commissioned at Mozambique by the MCF. 4 racks of 6 cars each, 24 coaches have been dispatched, and 3 racks have been commissioned in the African nation. Following this, the Uttar Pradesh-based factory has showcased its potential for the global market. Delegations from several other countries such as Zimbabwe, Senegal, and Bangladesh have visited the MCF to meet their demands for coaches. Samsung plans to invest in setting up smart manufacturing capabilities at its largest mobile phone in the state of Uttar Pradesh in North India. Electronics major Samsung plans to invest in setting up smart manufacturing capabilities at its largest mobile phone plant in Noida, Uttar Pradesh state, to make production more competitive. Samsung Electronics President and Head of Mobile Experience Business T.M. Rowe said that the company will continue to invest in research and development facilities in the country. He said, "We will continue our investment to bring the optimized and/or smart factory to the Noida facilities. We will continue our investment there. I believe our investment in the smart factory will bring competitiveness in the production." Samsung has its biggest manufacturing facility in Noida. The company this year started manufacturing its premium Galaxy S23 series in India. Samsung has around 10,000 employees at its R&D centers across India, out of which the largest base of close to 3,500 people is located at its Bengaluru center. In a setback for India's efforts to bring back fugitive Mehul Choksi to India, his name has now been removed from the Interpol's Red Notice list. Indian fugitive businessman Mehul Choksi, who is involved in the Rs 13,000 crore Punjab National Bank scam and fled the country in 2018, has been removed from the Interpol database of red notices. As per reports, Choksi got off the list based on his plea to the Lyon-headquartered agency. Interpol Red Notice is a request to law enforcement worldwide to locate and provisionally arrest a person pending extradition, surrender, or similar legal action. With Choksi's name now removed from the Red Notice list of 195-member country Interpol, this latest development is viewed as a setback for India in getting hold of the fugitive. Choksi fled India in January 2018 to Antigua and Barbuda to seek refuge. 10 months later, Interpol issued a red notice against him. Choksi holds citizenship in Antigua and Barbuda. India's investigating agency CBI has charge-sheeted both Mehul Choksi and his nephew Nirav Modi for their involvement in the PNB fraud. Choksi has raised objections against the CBI charge sheet. On several occasions, he has also cited health issues. Choksi's spokesperson claims the report from the Antiguan police and the evidence adduced by Choksi in the ongoing High Court proceedings in Antigua point to an alarming case of state-orchestrated kidnap, torture and attempted rendition by the Indian government. Indian indices opened in green on March 21st as US markets rebounded the previous night. The takeover of Credit Suisse by its rival UBS was also seen as a positive development. Indian domestic indices opened in green on March 21st as NSE Nifty 50 rose 69.30 points or 0.41% to 17,057.70 and BSE Sensex climbed 214.47 points or 0.37% to 57,843.42. This follows the losses in the closing session on March 20th, amid mixed global cues which ended the two-day winning streak and ended over 0.5% lower. The fall in domestic equities on March 28th was attributed to worry among investors about contagion risk in the global banking system despite a historic Swiss-backed acquisition of troubled Credit Suisse by UBS Group offering some relief. The Sensex slipped 361 points or 0.62% to close below the 58,000 level at 57,629. The Nifty dropped 112 points or 0.65% to settle below the 17,000 mark at 16,988. In the broader market at the BSE, the mid-cap and the small-cap indices shed 1% each. In the Sensex index, which is a pack of 30 companies, shares of 23 firms fell while those of 7 rose. Hindustan Unilever gained 2.5%, followed by ITC up by 0.8% and Kotak Bank added 0.5%. On the other hand, Bajaj Finserv plunged 4.3%, Bajaj Finance 3.2% and Wipro declined 2.5%. In sectoral indices at BSE, except the FMCG sector which gained 0.6%, the rest 19 sectors logged losses. The metal sector fell 2.2%, followed by the commodities and the IT sectors tumbling 1.3% each. The overall market breadth was negative as shares of 1,072 companies rose while those of 2,571 companies fell. Bollywood release season is in full swing. A new romantic song from Aditya Roy Kapoor and Mrunal Thakur's starrer film Gumrah has been released. Sung by Zara Khan, Arman Malik and Salma Agha. The song is titled Ghar Nahi Jana. Upcoming Bollywood action thriller Gumrah starring Aditya Roy Kapoor and Mrunal Thakur will hit theatres soon. On March 19, 2023, the producers of the film released its new song titled Ghar Nahi Jana. The romantic song is sung by Zara Khan, Arman Malik and Salma Agha. Soon after the makers unveiled the song, fans flooded the comment section with red hearts and fire emoticons. Aditya Roy Kapoor took to his social media handle to share the songs with his fans. While sharing the glimpse in a video, he captioned it saying, "Neend nahi aana aur ghar nahi jana is our new weekend mantra." Song out now. Mrunal Thakur, Vedika Pinto, Ronit Boss Roy, Murad Khetani, Bhushan Kumar, Krishan Kumar, Anjum Murad, Cine One Studios, T-Series Films. Aditya Roy Kapoor will be seen portraying a double role for the first time in his career, whereas Mrunal Thakur will play the role of a cop in the film. This is the first time when both the actors will be sharing the same screen space. Directed by debut director Vardhan Khedkar, Gumrah is an official Hindi remake of a Tamil hit action thriller film Thadam, released in 2019. Directed by Magis Thirumani, the film starred Arun Vijay and Tanya Hope in the lead roles. That's all for this bulletin of the Daily India Report.
And thank you very much, Simran, for that report. And ladies and gentlemen, right now it's time, as I mentioned before, that every day we'll try and bring to you something local. Today, we go to BEMAC, where we're going to witness the Bansuri duo, Darsil and Murali, and on the tabla is Sen, and on the mridangam, is Rudra. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, just a small glimpse of the sublime Bansuri recital. One day we will probably bring to you the full segment, but it's wonderful to have this local component which really adds to the show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been wonderful having your company. Until tomorrow, it's goodbye from us.